This is Danny from Pinnacle Quote Life Insurance Specialist. Just wanted to touch base and go over what life insurance really means to me and how it should be meaning to people that have children and are young starting out in life. See, when we die, okay, our employers are not going to keep on cutting checks to our family. And when you first start out and you first have your first child, a flash goes through your mind of the visualization of how your life's going to be the next 20 years, how you're going to provide for that child, how's your family going to be supported. Okay, and again, if you die, your employer is certainly not going to keep on writing checks to your family. Okay, so life insurance comes into play whether you're in your 20s, just starting out, being proactive, or being in your 30s, sort of established, starting at a family, or even as late as you're in the 40s, if you're still your first children are born. Okay, you really want to consider having life insurance in place that's going to protect them until they're throwing a cap and gown up in the air. They graduate. When you literally graduate as parenting, so to say. So life insurance is the best vehicle for that. Term life is by far the best and most cost-effective way to protect your family. Obviously, when they're young and during your earning years, which is anywhere from 25 to age 65. Okay, when you stop earning, then you're on, obviously Social Security and so on and so forth. So, rule of thumb is normally 10 times your income. And remember, if you got children that are, 2 or 3 years old, just born, okay, if you die a month after they're born, that's 20 years of income that your family's going to miss out on. So that visualization that you and your spouse or your significant other talks about is gone. That's it. I mean, everything that your aspirations and dreams for your family, gone just like that. And that's where life insurance comes in. Okay, so I mean, if you got 2 or 3 years old or a child that's just born, you want to have 15 to 20 times your income in place. Okay, that solidifies that if anything happened to you the first 10 years of that child's life, they're still financially secure. Okay, they're good until they're throwing their cap and gown up in the air. Now the house is paid for, all your income is still set aside. So I'll give you an example. You're making 100 grand a year. Your children are just born. You need $2 million in coverage. That's just a fact. If they're anywhere between ages 5 to 10, you might need right around 15 years of coverage. Now, again, you want to factor in also if you have a 401k and savings and assets, you want to minus that off. It just is the starting point. But if you have a child that's anywhere from 10 to 12 years old, you need about 10 times your income. Okay, that you want to be solidifying to make sure that your family, your children, your spouse will not miss a beat financially in the event of your death. Okay, for the first, until your children or young adults are self-sufficient. Okay, and also now again, if you're later on in life, if you're in your 50s, okay, you got a spouse, your kids are grown, you want to make sure that you're good until retirement, because usually the goal in life is once you get to retirement, your house is usually paid for, you can self-insure, you pretty much have everything taken care of. Okay, where you have savings enough to take care of anything that any loose ends. But rule of thumb is obviously if you have a spouse that depends on you, okay, you want to get 5 times your income. So I mean, if your kids are grown and you're in your 50s, you want a 10 to 15 year level term. Okay, you want to make sure you have at least five times your income in place to make sure, God forbid, if something happens to you, you give enough time for your loved one to go ahead and revamp their life and get focused again and mourn your death, really. Okay, so I mean, 5 times your income is usually normal at that age, between 55 and 60. And you always want to have a term up until, the last thing you want to do is get a term policy in your 30s and re-amped up every 10 years. You're just going to be paying more money, you're throwing money out the window. So if you're 30, you should get a 30-year term. In your 40s, you should be getting a 20. In your 50s, you should be getting a 10 to 15-year term. Your main goal should be to get to retirement. And then obviously every policy I offer you here at Pinnacle Quote, we do a conversion policy for you. Okay, so that helps you out as well. Also, with that being said, mortality age is very important too. Age 77 for us guys, age 81 for us ladies. You ladies do outlive us guys for 4 or 5 years. So that actually impacts the price as well. Okay, anytime you have a term that overlaps that mortality age, the price is going to shoot up on you because the insurance companies are at risk of writing a check. And they know that. So they're going to make you pay for it early. Okay, so with that said, that's just pretty much an insight on life insurance is all about and what you should really look at it as, it's term life is very different. Term life is for your earning years. Whole life is more geared for 65 or 70. We usually convert your term policies into a whole life or a universal life later on. ULs are a lot better for you than whole life, because whole life, you pay into a policy, great, you got cash value, but if you ever borrow from it, they charge you interest on your own money. Okay, so I'm not a big believer in that. Guaranteed UL policy is a little less expensive than whole life, by about 40%, but it also has surrender value, cash value, interest that most policies of GULs, they earn interest to offset inflation. So at least you're getting dollar for dollar down the line. All right, so that's my input on life insurance as far as the way I see it and what I think people should be looking at it as. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to call me. I'm always made available to my clients or anybody in the consumers that have questions. You can always reach me at 855-380-3300 extension 2. You can reach us on the web at pinnaclequote.com. You have an array of ways to contact me. We have a chat box on our internet. On our website that you can actually ask questions on the fly during the day. It comes right to me. Also, you can request an appointment on that. We're also updating our website to a blog website that should be launching in the next week. And again, today is September 27th, 2017. So again, if you have any questions, give us a call at Pinnacle Quote at 855-380-3300 extension 2. Again, I'm Danny Ray with Pinnacle Quote, and make it a great day.